Hey guys, welcome back to Vince Bell Custom. So today I'm sharing with you a Sideshow Collectibles Red Hulk Comiquette that somebody asked me to paint into the green version for them. And I have to say, now that I have this item in hand and I got a chance to work on him, it is a really great statue now that he's green. I don't know if they made a green version of this. Probably not, but this one was really a lot of fun to work on and paint up. I'm not a Hulk fan, and I know a lot of people probably by now might know that who watch my videos or people who know me personally, and I never really cared for the Hulk growing up. But once I got this one and I got him painted, I really do like this statue a lot. So if I was actually to ever get a Hulk in my collection, this might be the one to get. I know a lot of Hulk kits out there. I know the OG Hulk is really popular from Sideshow, and I know a lot of other Hulks, kits and stuff like that are popular. But this one actually feels more of that 90s Hulk to me. And at least, with a smaller head, big upper body, but not overly done. It just feels more of like comics that I kind of grew up reading. So, I mean, if I was to get a Hulk, this might be the one and paint him green. We'll get a little bit closer and we'll go over what I did, but I have to say it's a really great statue. I really like it a lot now. So, what I did was, when I first got him out of the box, I thought about stripping off the paint, but I was like, you know what, I'm not really going to be able to strip this because he is, I think, hollow, and I'm afraid that maybe the head might have been attached, or maybe the legs or the torso here might be attached. I'm not really sure. So I was like, you know what, it's better not to throw acetone onto this and just kind of run into issues. So what I did is I grabbed a Duplicolor clear primer, and what I did is I primed them all up in clear, and then I had some Rust-Oleum green, and I gave him a nice good base coat of green, so he's got a really nice strong paint of car enamel all over his body in green. And then from there, last week there was a really beautiful day outside, so I had a garage door open, and I just kind of went to town on painting him in the garage because he was just way too big for my airbrush booth. So what I did is I stood about, I don't know, maybe 3 feet away, and I used my Badger 360 airbrush, which I think the needle is probably like a 0.7 or something, and I just kept throwing like dustings on him, and I created this nice good texture with greens, raw sienna, burnt umber, blues, some mustard colors, and just kind of created a really cool like texture on him. I really like the way it came out, and after doing a lot of that and giving like a good texture and getting it to where I wanted to, then I would go in with my fine detail brush and I would bring out all these veins, do some shadowing here and there, and then once all the shadowing and everything was done, I went in very lightly with a yellowish green to bring out a little of the highlights. But after talking to the client and sending me a bunch of pics, we didn't want to make him too overly yellow. I know some paint-ups I've seen in the past, and I've done it myself in the past, where, I first got into airbrushing and stuff. If I painted a Hulk, it'd be too yellowish, too much yellow. This one, I wanted to really keep it, green as much as possible, but without going too bright on him. And there is no black in his skin tone whatsoever. It's all blues mixed with greens, and it's the darkest color would be burnt umber, which is like a brown, dark brown. So you could probably see here we got a lot of blues in his back. Underneath here in the arms and stuff, maybe we went with the burnt umbers. Probably a little bit around here, maybe around the burnt umbers there. In between the hands, you probably see a little bit more underneath some of the muscles and veins around there. Especially around back over here with the head around in that area there. So we got a little bit of that going over there. And then like once I got all that done, we got the texture going, and I brought out a lot of details. Very lightly, I went in with the bright, with the yellowish green. Not too much, but just a little bit, like almost like a semi-transparency. Like I mixed a little extra water in there, so I kind of brought out some muscles here and there, but not overly done. And then one of the things too is the client sent me pictures. Is some of the fingernails I saw on the pictures he sent me to kind of try to follow and stuff. The fingernails and toenails were bright yellow. And I wasn't really a fan of that because I want your eyes, when you look at the item, to bring it up to his face. And we'll kind of go over that in a second. But I asked him, I said, do you want to go with the bright yellow fingernails or toenails, or do you want to keep it more, I guess, closer to the skin tone? And after we got talking, he's like, yeah, let's go with that. So these toenails, hopefully you could see it in there. I did it with his thumbnails because that's the only thumbnails you see with his hands, but it's underneath, so it's hard to show the picture. But So I did a lot of breaking up, weathering, and line work in there, and then I glossed it up. So they are shiny while the skin's flat. So it feels like toenails on him that are kind of like beat up and worn, but they're not bringing your eye to his feet. We're still focused on his face, and that's kind of what I wanted to go for. So you can kind of see it over here with these as well. I did make them a little dirty, you know, but it just, you know, it's always good to kind of like, you know, make sure you know when you're painting to kind of bring it to certain areas. So the idea was, now we'll go up to his face, is we're going to focus on the eyes and the teeth. So the teeth are going to be like a bright white, and the eyes are there, you know, white eyes. So when you look at him, everything's kind of muted, and we focus right on that face because that's where the brightest part, and that's kind of what we wanted to go with. So you can see, you know, it just really brings your eyes up there. Now, as far as the mouth goes, I don't like painting Hulk with like flesh tone gums, like pink gums and pink mouth. I never really kind of cared for that because in the 90s, a lot of the Hulk comics that were like guest stars in the comics I read, anytime he clenched his teeth or he opened his mouth screaming, it was always like green gums and a green tongue type stuff like that. It wasn't really a lot of flesh tone, so that's kind of what I went with that. That's kind of how I like to paint up the Hulk. And then I glossed it all up to make it look like at least, you know, he's got saliva in his mouth and shiny. The eyes are ultra fine transfer detail eyes. Now, it might be hard to see in the camera, probably, is in his eyes, there's a little bit of a yellow in there because I put the green eyes in there and then I hit it with some yellow paint and then I glossed them up. So it's going to be hard to see in this camera. Now, the only black really on him is the base and then the hair and the mouth. So the hair has, you know, black with some green highlights and then flatten it down. So the green is there, but in person you could see it, but in the camera you're probably completely lost. But I didn't want to go pure black, but there's green in there. So once we got all that done, we started talking about the pants, and he wanted to go with, like, you know, a gray muted purple. We didn't want to go with the crimson or the magenta pants or the bright neon pants. We wanted to keep it more of the, you know, muted purple. So what I did was, when I masked them all off, I painted it in a red, it's really like a brownish red paint I had mixed up for something. So I gave it an all red paint, and then I stepped back, like, you know, I guess like 3 feet, and I did my speckling and dusting of purples, light purple, grayish purple, grays, and stuff like that. And I got this kind of a pants, and then what I did is I did some dry brushing just to bring out some of these rips and stuff like that, and some of the, you know, line work. As you can see over here, I brought out some of this line work there, brought out some of the back of the pants here and there with that rip, and then so on. So I think that worked out pretty good. So I think now when you look at him, you really focus on the face now. You're not focused anywhere else that really brings your eyes up there. And then as far as the base, when I had to mask it off, and the problem was I couldn't really mask this off because it's kind of curved down. So this all got green all over it up around here after I did my mask. So I was like, you know, I'm going to have to repaint the base anyway, because it was all just gray. The factory just completely painted it gray, and there was no variation from the blacktop to dirt. So I went in and I painted this all, you know, dirt with some browns and stuff. I did some you know, dry brushing here and there, but I really wanted to make all these planks of the road, really brighten them up a little bit more, so you could see it's just, you know, it just makes it work a little bit more. So now we look like a road's been broken up, and there's all this dirt, and all this blacktop is just all over the place. So that's pretty much what it came up with. Client likes it a lot. I like it a lot. I think this is a really great statue. So, I mean, if you guys are Hulk fans, don't knock a Red Hulk out there. Take it and paint him green, you know, or paint him gray. But I mean, like I said, I might be wrong. I don't know if, like I said, if there's green or gray versions of this one, but this one was a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys think. If you like the skin tone paint up, if you like this Hulk statue green now. I don't know, maybe you're just not a fan of the statue at all, but I'm kind of curious to what you guys think. But like I said, if I had the room and I was a Hulk fan, I would definitely get this one and paint him green and put him in my collection. But so thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more videos.